bottom right. He don't need any introduction. Just play the music. Where I'm kind of... See, Silky wants to be Mcanning so much, he's actually trying to morph into Mcanning's camera.
Yeah, right. It's kind of... You see like an arm like push Mcanning off of his feet.
Mcanning's like, get out of here, man. This is my room. Hey,
I thought you were going to say that Silky is so desperate to beat Mcanning that he's doing a 12 pool.
Well,
I'm like,
cool.
well.
Yeah, it's kind of unique, obviously. It really... I don't really have anything to say. It's Golden Wall. It's a horrible map to 12 pool on. It's really long to get across. Yeah, I mean, Mcanning's going to scatter right away. Now, obviously, you can still mess up the setup against this. But in general, this should be pretty good for Mcanning. He has the information he needs to deal with this properly.
I am also very surprised that Silky chooses this build. A surprise build, a cheeky build, fine. I wonder if he's thinking that Mcanning was going to go for a high ground wall off and then was mining out the minerals in the back. But even then, I don't see how this works better against that. I haven't really thought that one through, though. I haven't seen it in action, so maybe it does. I don't know.
Just want to see a second gateway right now. We should be good. Is he going to go without a second gate?
Seems that way.
The probes? I mean, this
yeah, I like it. If he saw the natural, he's actually still kind of tracking in the reinforcements.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually... it's going to work fine. Obviously, like, you build a second gateway, it does mess with your Nexus timing, so that's kind of the whole idea here. Some of the lings get by, and I do feel like that's a little bit scary, but there's actually no more lings on the way. So these are the only lings you've got to worry about, in which case I'm kind of fine with it, because Mcanning's going to expand pretty quickly still, and yeah, he's in a nice spot. Silky doesn't really deal any damage just yet. It's annoying. These lings are going to keep running around, and they're going to get themselves a probe here. I'd say they still need like 3-ish probes to maybe even make this good for Silky, though.
I agree. Yeah, that would be maybe 5 exactly would be what made it even. It's something we consider the Nexus is later, sure, but this is a much more efficient mining for Mcanning up until basically now. Now it's been a little less, though. But Silky, I mean, maybe he's also experimenting like Cyril kind of was for a little while with actually using this as an opener. Whatever you get, like, direct damage-wise, maybe isn't as important as how much you offset the Protoss and get the start on things. I'm throwing that out, honestly. I don't actually believe it. So I'm more curious to see how Silky is going to follow this up, and maybe it's still a 12-minute game and the beginning didn't matter, but this seemed like a very odd choice.
Mcanning's going to start mining the minerals on the bottom side. So he's going to start getting access to the bottom of the map here, where he can just take a third base in a very safe position. I also like it because it gives him access down there in case there's some kind of a Nidus play at some point, right, as well, like Nidus Swarm host again, so you can go down that bottom side and kind of just deal with it. If he doesn't have air units or something. I don't know. But in general, this is mostly just for their expansion down there. And I like it. You know, he's going to have a Stargate up. He's going to be able to get that vision on the map. He should be looking pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it's a far more popular version of expanding down there. You know, I brought up that like high ground wall natural expansion, and that's one of the rare cheesy things. This one, I would say, even makes the most sense on Golden Wall. For some of the reasons you listed, but also for what we probably think Mcanning is going to do. Which, yeah, it's 50-50, in my opinion. We see what happens up with this Void Ray, but does he go mass carriers first and foremost? Or does he add on a Robo or Twilight Council? Take a little while to find out. And Silky's not going to be able to scout that. Overlord gets taken out. Not much more he can do. He's going to go for a faster evolution chamber, so maybe +1 melee, good old Ling Baneling. He's got to know he's going to potentially be up against Sky Toss.
Yeah, that's Void Ray obviously showing up. I mean, I think you mentioned in the previous in the pre-show, but I think it's really nice that Silky was able to watch those last games, right? Because now you can get a really good read on like the things Mcanning might do from here. So this Fleet Beacon and likely to be a second Stargate is obviously not really something that maybe catches Silky super off guard. And that's obviously really good because then he kind of knows the things to be looking out for in general. Obviously, maybe Mcanning switched it up by changing the map vetoes a little bit, hence being able to come into like this map now, which was vetoed in the previous series. So, a couple of things to look at there. Only one Stargate still, though, with this Fleet Beacon. Is this just a Mothership rush?
I'm not sure, Wardy. It's also,
like, I feel like, what could it be? He's got 400 in the bank.
He's gonna do Mothership rush. Oh, I love it. So I was gonna ask, and I don't know if you remember, but did he actually open up a Void Ray in the very first game, the one that was directly to carriers? Because I didn't think he did.
No, that was
Phoenix.
Phoenix Oracle, right?
Yeah. So this is the first time I've seen Void Ray into Mothership Rush. I mean, Mcanning might not be mixing it. Yeah, he might not be mixing it up like a whole lot, but he is definitely mixing it up. So if Silky's just assuming, I mean, he's gonna be half correct. Like, it is a bit of Sky Toss with that Mothership, but it's not really Sky Toss without a second Stargate and carriers on the way.
It's like the supporting unit, but then it's actually going to be a ground army.
What is? Wait, and also let me just wait. Oh, no. Silky is going to Ling bust Mcanning, and Mcanning's gonna have a flipping Mothership to protect all of his buildings. How does the Ling Rush work?
He's got no lair, yeah.
If there's no lair, you don't get freaking Overseer.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Silky, no.
Silky, stop. Silky, no.
Silky. Oh, I mean... What? I'm out of words, CG. I thought today was already crazy. Apparently, it was just a warm-up for this. I mean, this mothership's going to be bang on time as well. This is the timing of you want for your mothership to defend a Ling Bane post, apparently.
Take notes, guys. 7-minute mothership rush. There you go. There's a wall down. There is a wall down here.
Is that full wall?
It's a full wall.
No, Silky, stop! Don't do this! Oh my god. No, Silky, no. He didn't even reveal the mothership.
You're right, he didn't. I think the natural was just thick. We're buffed by a couple of units. Like, oh my god. This game is a disaster.
Mcanning's so good, he doesn't even need his main unit to actually hold an all-in. Like, I mean, not super all-in, but it's obviously bad. You just crash like 20 Banes into gateways and kill a gateway. I mean, that ain't good. Just some expert analysis over here. That ain't good. So...
Okay, so Silky is going to add on a lair and try and get to a spire? Well, no, he just doesn't know about the mothership.
He doesn't know about the mothership.
Why would he go for
I guess he just goes like Ling Bane into what he's... I'm kind of going to do some crazy recall in with the ship.
He doesn't have that many units.
Yeah, yet, but he's about to have +1 blink in all the gateways.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh my god,
have 3 Immortals, 3 Sentries, like 12 Stalkers are going to get into the main base, and Silky has a lot of Queens, to be fair.
Can we get the player cams on? Because I really want to watch the reaction as Silky like has an army recalled into his main by a mothership he doesn't know exists.
Please,
like,
please.
Yeah, because that's just like... I mean,
please.
we won't see much of Silky's face because he's still trying to enter Mcanning's room, but like, there's gonna be something of a reaction right now as the mothership shows up, and here it is. It's time to recall into the main. Is there an overseer on the map? There is not. There's gonna be nothing that can fight back. It's Silky. I mean, his reaction is pretty dull, but I mean, this is just fantastic. Double overseer morphing beneath on top of all these stalkers, though. Oh my god.
This is so silly. You know, the queen count really wasn't that bad, but the force field also keeping half of them out. Raptor just formed, but it's going to be here way too late. Silky. Dude, my buddy. This is it.
What is going on? There's actually just so much Mcanning in this main base. You should make sure just to get rid of the lair. Yeah, you can just type the overseer, kill the overseer, he gets it! What? Yeah, Silky's army's just turping around trying to corrosive pile. Oh, mothership moves out the way.
No, oh my gosh. Finally a reaction. Oh, he has so many extra bases. Silky did not want to admit defeat right there. And if all of his army had gotten to the main, if there was no force field, I actually wonder if this would have been a bit closer, but...
Yeah,
but the force field as well. That was.
Doesn't matter though, because if his army gets in the main, there was no overseer right at the start.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm wondering.
Wait, is the GLHF getting cloaked by the mothership in the main? That's why I see this spray like appearing and disappearing. Oh my god, it is. The sprays get cloaked by a mothership. Who knew?
Now we know.
Yeah.
Silky. I mean, he has like a decent army, so blah. I don't see it. GG. GG. It shows like the worst possible builds, you know, like, oh my god, the pool first That was questionable, but I guess that wasn't really like what killed him. The Ling bailing decision was so... It would have been so good usually, I guess, but against the Mothership, how would he have ever known? How?
What happens if Mcanning goes 7-0 in this group? Like, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I kind of do. Like, what's the Mothership rush?
It worked out so well. Silky, I think, maybe got caught up in the idea of killing him fast, right? Because if he is going into the mass air, then maybe like a Ling Flood will... Obviously, they can't kill the air, but it does a lot of damage to the economy. You've seen that as an option before. If you thought it really was just into the Adepts, well, the Adepts never showed up, and why would you Ling Bust against that? And then, what else does Mcanning showed? Like, yeah, right in the carriers, Adepts, and then... Well, no, he got caught by Swarm Host, so...
And then, yeah, he got Swarm Hosted.
Yeah. And that game is, I guess, kind of like a Mothership rush, quote unquote, as well. Yeah, I don't know. But whatever. Like, I'm point is, Silky, that wasn't it. All right. It's killing Mcanning before he gets to a certain point. That might still be a good idea, but unfortunately, that one was not it. And his big brain tactics looks a little like a little wee brain right now.
Even if you had Banes, at least you could run them under the Mothership and blow stuff up still, right? Like,
yeah,
it was just everything went so wrong. The only Banes we saw crashed into a gateway.
Oh my god, that was... I can't even believe... Like, not only is he Baneling attacking against a guy going for Mothership Rush, Mcanning fully walled off with gateways. Yeah. People wall that off, but they wall it off like they would wall off a front. People fully walled off with a shield battery. I don't even know. Maybe we missed a scout, but that was insane. That was basically insane hard counters. And,
well, I mean, he doesn't need to be stuck in his base, right? I think he just wants to be fully walled off because he's going to recoil into his opponent's main. So if you fully wall off, you deny the scouting a bit better in case a Ling runs in and sees the Mothership, I guess, is maybe the plan. That would be my prediction. I can't believe this Mothership just got across the map, unseen, recoils into the main. Like, there's so many things that have to go wrong for Silky for this to work, as well as it did. Like, it can still work, and like a couple of things go differently, but like everything went wrong. Oh, I'm panning. What a god.
That is the best way to put it. Everything went wrong that possibly could have gone wrong. Silky maybe want to also play out a little bit of his, I guess, out of his comfort zone. You know, not just be like, oh, I'm just a macro guy here, but I think it might be okay to go back into the macro. A cautious macro. We see an opportunity to take it, sure, but not the setup that he had with the 12 pull into Ling attack. Next map's Pillars of Gold.
I don't see anything that works that Mcanning's done before in this map apart from maybe like into Adepts, right?
Exactly, agreed. That's going to be interesting, but he let it through, so I guess he's got a plan here. In the bottom left, up 1, he is Mcanning.
Top right-hand side, our red Zerg from Sidestone Gaming is Silky.
Okay. So Mcanning, he could go for the Adept thing on this map. That's perfectly reasonable. Do we think he goes for anything else that is standard?
I'm wondering, like, he just sent a probe to hatch block, right? Like, maybe he's got some intentions of like actually like a non-Stargate opener from the start. I don't know how crazy I'm being. Silky in the meantime just says, hey, I'm going to go for gas and a pool first, so he don't care about the hatch block. I mean, that's a fast gas, right? Whenever you go gas then pool, that's something to worry about. As drone is going to be seen coming down to the low ground, Mcanning gets the turnaround, and that's great, of course. We talked about this earlier. You do not want to let the Zerg the Zerg doesn't want to take their third base when they've gone for pool first openers. So, yeah, Mcanning realizes this. He's going to put the pylon down just to keep it blocked. And he will send Silky off to the base he doesn't want. And it's important for Mcanning to get in here because now he knows exactly the pool timing and he knows the gas is up as well. So you can know there's a couple of things that could be aggressive coming your way. And I think Mcanning at this point just goes into a Stargate because defensively, the Stargate is like the best go-to choice at this stage.
Yes, absolutely agree. It gives you the defense, the scouting, you know, after whatever you defended against is done with, and just a lot of flexibility in that macro option. So, I mean, he might play a little unsafe, just take a risk here and not do that, but I would be with you. Constantly checking, constantly scouting, checking. That's checking and scouting together. And want to see if those are lanes popping out or drones, which sees a drone move out. So
Yeah, that's nice actually. It's really good, right? Because you are so afraid at this point. Silky's still mining gas, and I think for them kind of get to click on that gas. Didn't quite notice it. That would be quite nice to know there's still a lot of gas being mined at this stage of the game. You know, and 100 extra gas is, you know, means Silky can do a lot of different things right now.
right, yeah. It is gonna be a Stargate, fully scouted, and the lings won't go down. So if this was like a fake Stargate, it's way too committed to be fake.
Yeah.
The lings would have to leave, and then he'd have to cancel it, but they aren't gonna leave. They're always gonna be here.
Lings are gonna have link speed. I feel like this is a weakness of Mcanning. Like, he's very reluctant to just wall, even for like a bit of safety, and to go off build, like a little bit. So like if Silky was like link flooding right now, Mcanning would kind of just die. Because I think the lings would have gotten here with speed and gotten in before there was a wall up.
Yeah, you're right about that. Not something that Silky was going to anticipate. I mean, hey, if that first game hadn't happened, maybe this would have been him sending lings across the map, but...
Yeah. It's something to look at for the future though, right? Because now you can be like, well, he's maybe a bit reluctant to do that. So maybe that's something you could take advantage of in game 3 if he gets there. But hey, is he going to get to game 3? He's playing Mcanning. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, he's top of the group, man. It's tough to beat the guy on top of the group.
I mean, where's Silky at? Top 5? I mean, that's decent. It's not top 1 though, is it?
No, it's not. He's just not Mcanning, you know what I mean?
I mean, very few people can even pretend to be Mcanning, so makes sense.
Well, with the knowledge of the Stargate in hand, drone. Spore crawlers are going to be set up, so no surprise. Oracle killing 10 drones, like it seems to be happening today. And Mcanning might not even be so eager to send that Oracle across the map. Actually checking first and foremost for if there are a bunch of lings and a couple of banelings being morphed. It was going to the right, then went to the left, sees nothing at all. It's going to go into a second Oracle, so Phoenix to 2 Oracles. Has somebody done that?
Yep. It's a bit more standard, right? Very kind of typical just setup here. Drones run away, Spore isn't ready in the natural, so that's nice. He's going to catch a drone transfer, and he's actually going to find the drones that came back to the natural. 2 queens though, so there's not a lot of opportunity. There's still 2 drones, a little bit of a drone pull. Obviously just count for something. Oracle gets out of there.
Very weak Oracle. Not going to be able to help very much when she buddies up. I guess we'll try. Overlord, did that just barely see that structure? It was a second Stargate and he canceled it.
Yeah, apparently so. I wonder if he placed it down almost as a fake out though, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because obviously like he knew the Overlord was coming in, so put it down. And he's just going to cancel it straight away because he was already on his way to a Robo, which doesn't make a lot of sense for second Stargate. It's so late for second Stargate too, and I don't think Silky really falls for that either.
Does Silky really believe it and really over-defend against something that's not happening?
I guess we find out when the left finishes, but there's not even extra spores or anything on the way just yet. Not that it would necessarily need to be right now. It was a missile upgrade. If he goes like straight to Hydra's Den when the left finishes, then maybe.
Yeah, maybe they need to be tricked. I don't know.
I mean, like missiles on Hydra Den, right? Like that's kind of like an anti-double Stargate Phoenix play.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Rather than going melee, so.
Yeah. You're right about that. But with the Roach Warren also done, like he could just be wanting to go into Hydra Lurker.
Yeah.
There is the Hydra Den. Double the depth, surprise Silky. He wasn't paying attention because he was trying to target down the Oracles and get scouting on the other side of the map. So 5 drones go down. You neat pickup.
Yeah, I'm kind of like 6 pro. There's only 6 workers behind. He's in a really good eco position once again here. So, kind of like where he's at. For you know, in that kind of regard, he is on a bit of a heavy supply block right now, though. And that's maybe slowing him down a little bit. He seems to invest in some extra bits and pieces, hallucinating a Colossus, just to kind of show off a little bit here as well. But that's going to be figured out pretty quickly.
Yeah. See those lings are taking damage? It's pretty obvious. If the lings had darted in and immediately darted out, and the Colossus didn't bother attacking, that might have been a successful fake. Maybe. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure by now Silky has recognized that it's not double Stargate. I'm not sure he was actually ever tricked, but he's figured it out, and it seems like his plan was to go into Roach Hydra Lurker. Even though he showed Baneling's last game, it was for a very different reason. could see Link Baneling Ravager in the third game, but we'll get there when we get there. Roach Hydra. +1's on the way. Mcanning does not quite have Storm yet, and Silky is making an awful lot of attacking units. The speed for the Roach is going to finish up. Hydra's getting their range done. He's going for an attack, and Mcanning, I don't know if he knows about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice timing too, right? Mcanning's about to get charged. It's halfway to Storm. There's just a lot of things that aren't here yet. And his army supply is, well, horrible. He doesn't win this fight, right? This is just super one-sided. Silky's gonna run in and kill everything.
Yeah, this might just be a GG right here. Shield battery is prepared, but it is one shield battery that does not even save that Morphing Archon. 2 Oracle's not gonna be able to help out very much either, and Mcanning perhaps a little too clever for his own good. None of the tricks worked. Silky with just some standard macro push. I mean, macro to a degree, but standard. PVZ wins the game. So on to game 3 we go. Can Mcanning actually continue the hype, or is Silky going to end it in game 3? We'll find out soon. Welcome back, everyone. I have Apollo now joining me as the third caster in this series. He's going to be doing some observing as he has taken over my keyboard and my mouse. So, I mean, say hello.
I knew you went back to being blonde zombie growth, but I didn't realize you went like so blonde to turn to white.
Yeah, this is actually the look I was going for.
Yeah?
Believe it or not. Yep, absolutely.
Just very fluffy.
Yeah, I wish. Anyways, cuteness aside, we get Mcanning versus Silky. We're in a game 3, guys.
There's
Say
plenty
goodbye.
of cuteness in this series.
I don't know if cute's the word I would use.
Yeah, Mcanning's a little bit more dominating than cute is me.
Exactly.
I get it.
That was my point. All right. 1-1. In the top right, looking to be undefeated in the group if he wins this. It is Mcanning.
Attempting the impossible in the bottom left to win a series of Mcanning. It is Silky.
Truly the impossible. I mean, now that Mcanning is on top of the group, he's basically just like Cyril. You know?
I mean, more or less. Not really. Mcanning's more fun than Cyril. Cyril just wins everything 2-0. Mcanning gives us more games as fans, you know?
That's true. Sometimes you do appreciate Cyril just like bopping nerds left and right. Other times you want to see a good old-fashioned mothership rush, and that's when you come to Mcanning stream or Mcanning on this stream. Either one. It worked, man, and well, the more normal game on Pillars of Gold did not work. I do think it was a bit of a trap anyways. You know, we immediately had the same thought as soon as we saw it was Pillars of Gold. This doesn't really work for the tricky Sky Toss option. So even though Mcanning tried to trick Silky on 2 occasions, one with the Stargate and another one with the Colossus, I don't think Silky was ever really convinced or concerned about those options. He had the attack in mind and didn't really see a need to divvy from it. So now we're on Eternal Empire where, yes, okay, Mcanning style might work again.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like the map I think he really wanted to play on in this series. Golden Wall's pretty good for his style as well, but Eternal Empire is definitely one of those. You can kind of do your thing, play the Stargates, play into the carriers. And honestly, I genuinely still believe that if he plays into carriers, this is going to be terrifying for Silky to try and deal with. I think Silky has to end it early if Mcanning plays like he did against Scarlet.
Mm-hmm. I think that is the scariest point, but you still got to be afraid of just being too obvious with what you're doing, right? So Mcanning, I think, is still going to do something a little bit tricky, but it is unsurprisingly going to be a Stargate option first and foremost. And unsurprisingly, Silky is going to go for just a third hatch and macro. I really do think that first game was just, you know, it was just a you know. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we just keep quiet about that one, huh?
Yeah, exactly. We keep quiet about what Silky did, but we can talk all of what we want about Mcanning's doing a mothership.
Yes, as there's our good old trusty Stargate. Wouldn't have guessed it.
So difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm kind of keeping us on our toes. But I mean, in seriousness, I mean, it'll be fun to see what he does this time. Void Raider start. Do you think he goes into double Stargate? Like, what do you think if you have to pick one build from here, what do you go for?
I think I would choose the carrier, right in the carrier option. But he hasn't done that off of a Void Ray so far, so I think he disagrees.
No, I can see that too. That's why I was thinking about it, because I see the Void Ray. I'm like, well, he didn't like that earlier. Goes into an Oracle. Yeah, I think this is a great map for going like double Stargate into carriers. I think it's a really good one to put some pressure on. You've got good dead airspace behind the mineral lines to get the carriers away into, and then recall them if you want to. So, yeah, it would have made a lot of sense. But we'll just see a Robo going down already, and no Stargate play past that Void and Oracle.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about something else then. So last game was a bit of trickiness, still a lot of like, okay, are you going to do X, Y weird thing? If we start talking about Mcanning doing a more normal PvZ, I do believe Silky is the better player. So I'm not a super huge fan of Mcanning doing this, especially because Silky should be getting some decent scouting at all points, you know, not getting surprised by a surprise Immortal Sentry push on his fourth or what have you. That's my opinion. But Mcanning, I mean, he did show us a pretty good adept attack. He has had good macro in general. Like, that's why I was so impressed with his games. It wasn't just a cheeky, cheesy thing. It was like actually overall pretty good. But oh, Silky. I said let's not talk about what he did in the first game, and yet he's doing it again.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? I mean, obviously, hopefully with a bit more success this time around. Mcanning, can he figure it out? That's the real question. I mean, Oracle and the Void Ray both help defensively, but otherwise, what else has he really got at home right now? 3 Adepts, a Stalker. Yeah, he needs to be very well set up. At least the Stalker currently is in the world, but there's no shield battery or anything.
This is complicated. So Silky, if he gets the 3rd Nexus kill, that's actually pretty great. There is macro out of this, to a degree, but the reason it was missing so much in the Golden Wall game was, a variety of other factors. Like the mothership the gateways really shut it down, and the mothership was going to be a real big problem. But this is a more normal setup, and Silky is prepared to deal with this setup. This is the setup he's been up against before when he's done this attack. So can he really do the damage? Mcanning is not really prepared for this. Doesn't have a shield battery. Doesn't have a lot of force fields. You got a Voider that won't die, but also won't kill these units that fast.
Yeah, good first force field, but then the Bane's around the other side, and 6 probes go down. Take that 9, a couple of probes stuck in the corner there. More Bane showing up. The Oracle putting in work where it can. Silky gets through and does a lot of damage here. He only takes like an 8 worker lead though, so it's not so bad yet. And the Oracle and Void are still cleaning up. I'm not a... I mean, it's worked, right? But it's not won the game.
You're right about that. It has not. Like, if he got all of that plus the 3rd Nexus, okay, yeah, maybe he's won the game already. But without killing that 3rd Nexus, without it really lasting a super long time, like 30 seconds and then back to normal, I do think that Mcanning can recover from that, but he did lose some expensive units. The Immortal and the Sentries going down did hurt.
Yeah, but he's lost less than Silky's lost in the game, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of Lings and Banes that were used up, and yeah, no, I agree, right? The Immortal, the Sentries, they're difficult to replace, but Mcanning's about to have Charge, he's about to have a Temple Archives. I mean, Silky's switching into Roaches that don't have upgrades yet, so I'm a fan. I like I like it for Mcanning. I don't think it's all that bad when it could have gone much worse for sure.
Absolutely could have. I think it's more to do with pacing. Now if there was going to be that attack with the Sentries and Immortal, maybe it doesn't happen. If there's going to be +1 attack, which would have been hitting like right now, I guess it doesn't happen, especially because he doesn't get a Warp Prism. So Silky, keeping tabs on this and having his 4th base back at home can get to his Supreme Zerg presence, 80 drones for probably 5 bases soon. All the upgrades, all the tech. He just needs to keep tabs on Mcanning. If Mcanning pushes out, if he never pushes out, then we got to start talking about the possibility of Stargate and Fleet Beacons and whatnot again. But if he does, Silky should be prepared because he has got his feet underneath him now, all the economy, and just needs to start building up an army.
Yeah, that's the good thing from Silky. It has definitely kept Mcanning back at home, and now he's just off and away into his own kind of style. Look at Den coming up with the Hive, and Mcanning gets pretty deep into the main there, pretty deep into the bases, doesn't quite get into the main. So he doesn't quite see that the Lurker Den or the Hive's coming up, I don't believe, but otherwise, I mean, his preparation is good, right? Storm on the way, +2 attack is on the way. He will have the upgrades and the tools to kind of deal with the initial Zerg army. And yeah, maybe the only thing missing is them kind of feeling brave enough to get out to 4th base, especially when Silky is coming so much to tech units right at the moment.
He's getting all set up for the later stages of ZVP. I won't quite call it a super late game, but he's going to have Lurkers and Vipers and upgrades on those Lurkers faster than you would think, faster than Mcanning would like. And Mcanning is trying to, I guess, at least guess that that's going to be a while later, waiting for the Lurkers. He's going to try and grab this 4th base at a pretty good time, so far unsuccessfully. But he would also love to get a scout on that main. I guess no worry about Mutas. He's right about that, but Mcanning has very little scouting overall. So he's not going to see these Overlords, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're on a bit of a journey, aren't they? Up into that natural expansion in the next few moments. And that's, well, there's a Void Ray, there's a couple Stalkers, and there's a Stasis Ward, so he's definitely prepared for a bit of something. All right, that's actually better preparation than I thought there would be. With the Void Ray nearby, there's a chance he shuts it down if he sees it and responds fast enough. And, oh, the Stalker's patrolling. Okay, he sees it now. He'll come in and, yeah, maybe not enough right away to deal with this. Don't run into the Stasis, but there's a Storm showing up, and yeah, I still don't mind, actually. I mean, he's going to clean this up more or less. Oh.
More or less. Have an awkward movement there. Maybe he thought about picking up and then went, oh, wait, I don't have to pick up. Oh, now I just pick up. Silky, this is just the first form of Silky's late game. This is like the little appetizer to the main dish. So the main dish should include Lurkers, and upgraded Lurkers at that. That's what Mcanning should be more scared of, especially if the Overlord drops are still available, and they certainly are. I mean, Silky, it's funny, he just, he's shown that there's not going to be many banelings. He's got a couple, and they're still waddling, not rolling. So I guess Mcanning has to worry about that. But lurker drops are in some ways, many ways, even more devastating.
Yeah, the lurker drops definitely add a whole new element to those drop lords, right? Because they can just be, even if it's just 1 or 2 lurkers, they require so much attention to clean up at times. And they can do so much if you don't get around to cleaning them up. So you got to be super, super careful about it. Those are really good force fields. A lot of roaches kind of stuck. If there's just a couple more up the top side, that could have been a lot more kills. As now Silky trying to go in 2 different directions, coming up this right-hand side ramp, and that's going to be, well, he tries to fight L as well. I mean, this is a really good defense on the top because Stasis Ward helps a lot, and the Immortals are pretty good there, and Super Battery currently keeping this Immortal alive as it chunks through roaches.
Nice hold so far. I mean, he lost a High Templar, a couple of buildings, a couple of units, but not really getting cracked in any place. He's taking some damage. Mcanning is also already preparing to head into the later stages. He's got a Mothership on the way, which is actually really important because Silky, I feel like some Zergs have really given up on the idea of brood lords except for the extreme scenarios, like late game Sterile. But Silky has been one to actually kind of dive more towards brood lords, even still. So something that Mcanning needs to worry about if he's going to continue just being the defender, not getting any damage done to Silky's side, that could be a problem. But,
yeah.
I mean, only if he doesn't get to Tempest and whatnot.
I was going to say that the one thing I think is missing from Mcanning is something he did so well against Scarlet, which was just having the Prism on the map all the time, right? And that's just not a thing here. And it just means that Silky is controlling everything in the game. There's nothing to pull Silky back home in the slightest.
Right. Yeah, that is a problem. But Mcanning, he is already setting up his carriers, so if there's going to be a Broodlord transition, he'd already have a bit of preparedness, and I don't think Silky is going to want to do that against a guy like Mcanning, against the situation. Again, not really digging in, at least not yet. Maybe he's finally found a spot. Mcanning a little bit vulnerable over to that 4th base, is not mining from it. Slowly chunking away to lurkers, though, so this will be cleaned up.
One of the Immortals got taken down, though, and those are the sort of units you want to keep alive as you put in your reinforcement money into carriers. But yeah, he does clean it up, and of course, given time, his army is getting better. So the big thing, I think, is just actually mining off that 4th base, because that's not currently a thing, and it's definitely needed. It's a nice catch on the lurker. Good use of that Phoenix, just an extra lurker kill, one less to worry about on the map. Now there's not a single lurker on the map, so for the moment, Mcanning should really have room to breathe. There shouldn't be anything that shows up from Silky in the next few moments, apart from like very low-tech run-bys or kind of units. So yeah, I'm a little bit, I like it for, you know, as an Mcanning fan, I can breathe again because I'm almost like, okay, he can get set up. He can truly get these carriers out without too much further aggression for a moment or two.
Well, Silky's still not done, man. He's actually still going to add in banelings, despite not getting centrifugal hooks. I guess he's still going to go for Overlord drops, which makes sense, but it's just like, it was one of those things where if you don't bother going for banelings, it's very easy to forget that, you know, you can't do baneling drops. Immortal goes down. Army is going to pseudo-retreat. It's actually more of a distraction for the top left. Silky has made some banelings. That's what I was talking about. Just running in didn't really work out too well. Good pop on the oracles.
Yeah, well handled. Silky picking another fight here. Mcanning, I like it. Just disengage. You don't really need to be fighting near those lurkers. There's not a lot of anti-air here either, so the Mothership should get away even the second time.
What is Silky? Does he have reinforcements he thinks are on the way? Or not?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of Hydras on the bottom side of the wall. Oh my god, he's just going to save.
I mean, I guess he stopped it from cloaking the army, right? So
yeah,
there is that. A bit awkward, but it is that. Mothership's in the natural and is trying to cloak up this army. There's still not a lot of Hydras. I'm so surprised Silky is pushing this issue. He does almost have a maxed out army. It's just not all here.
Yeah, Mothership stays alive as it gets to the super battery. Seems a couple units over here, really. The problem is he kind of let this get in position on this very kind of choked up area, and that's difficult to deal with. Another abduct. I'm still not a believer in this Mothership dying. Finally, the Hydras will get it, but honestly, it takes up so much of the Hydra attack time that now Mcanning gets the full cleanup, and look at the army supply is dead even. Mcanning maybe even for a moment that jumped into a lead. Mcanning is trading fantastically, and if he gets 5th base up behind this, I mean, his eco's already great. I mean, Silky doesn't have a bank, so Silky can't really rebuild from these positions in these fights.
Despite having all of these bases with gas, like his gas count was just really struggling. And I think committing to that made it so that what could have been a stronger punch a little bit later turned into a couple of jabs that didn't really end up panning out. But this is the army you're supposed to have. The big concave of Hydras trying to jump on top of an army with Storm's a bit dangerous, but maybe it works out. A lot of the interceptors have gone out. Only 3 carriers and 1 interceptor. The Storms are real saviors there. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Storms were great, weren't they? They hit on so much, and Silky just kind of ran into a fight he couldn't take. I mean, Mcanning has to back away out of interceptors, but when he gets going again, I mean, it's just a shame that Silky's essentially mined from the second Rich Vespine gas base. I definitely think that that's a bit of an issue. There's one Zealot's actually having a good time, though, and it's going wild. It's going to pick up even more kills than it's already got. This Zealot. What a time. Wow. Hero. A true hero.
I guess Silky brought back 1 unit, and then it was like the farthest away possible. There we go, finally. 10 drones killed, and I mean, that's usually not the biggest of deals if the game just wasn't on this knife's edge. I feel like that is not kind of a big deal. Silky has never gotten to a point where he could just say, you know what, this isn't working, let's just go ahead and swap over. No, he's been like somewhat desperately trying to kill Mcanning. In that desperation, he has given away more resources than he would usually want to. So his transition to Corruptors is very slow, and he should still be very careful of Mcanning's late game.
Yeah, no, Mcanning is at that point now where he was at against Scarlet, and it was very, very scary watching him play against Scarlet. He was really, really good. So I'm 100% a little bit concerned for Silky, who doesn't really, his supply just doesn't seem to be getting back up into the higher stages anymore. He's going to get a run by here, and that's a really nice run by because Mcanning's just not really in position. Super Battery will buy some time, and he is going to be able to rotate back up, but it takes any possibility of doing stuff on the map away from him. And that's the bigger issue more than anything. These couple High Temple actually morph into an Archon, so saving themselves there. Again, I think it's well defended, but it wasn't really about defending this, right? It was more so Silky taking him kind of away from being on the map, aggressively pushing perhaps.
Right. For what it was meant to do, it did it. But it's still always a bit hurtful because Silky's gas bank never looks truly convincing. So like, yeah.
I feel like I'm crazy. I guess because the Rich Vespine already mined out, so he's actually still only on 1 Rich Vespine gas. He has got the entire bottom of the map, which I'm kind of, like I say, maybe some Zealots even just run from the natural down the right side to that bottom corner or so. I feel like that would be really great. He's focused on pushing the left side with the main army, so it really does set up for that, Zealot right side counter.
I'm not sure why he's getting another Baneling nest. He doesn't have centrifugal hooks, and it's in the middle of nowhere, but he's getting it. Don't know what else that would have been.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, well.
Maybe just forgot that he has a Baneling nest?
I guess he did, despite making Banelings a little bit earlier on. So the thing about using the Banelings against the High Templars on the ground can work out, but I'm just, again, like, it's just such an expensive gas unit. I don't mind having the Lurkers instead of a bunch of Banelings, but I do mind the second Baneling nest. And Ultraless Cavern has also been thrown down, but I'm pretty sure they don't share the same hotkey. And I'm pretty sure we won't actually see Ultras. I'm actually judging this one. I don't mind all tech coming down when we're in a passive game, but this isn't really a passive game. That Ultras Cavern, I don't think it helps, and it just takes away gas.
Yeah, there's a couple of Immortals getting caught. I'm wondering how much Mcanning really cares about the Immortals. Don't get me wrong, they're good units, but they're also kind of getting to a point where they're kind of past their sell-by date.
Yeah.
There's still like a few Lurkers on the ground, but not like a lot, right? And when you've got Carriers and High Templar, that might not be, you might not be really looking at the Immortals as kind of like a unit you need anymore at that stage. It's a nice Yonko, and he gets both the Oracles as well, so nice pickoffs by Silky. I do just feel Silky's getting too much of the map, right? Because it feels like he's never really had a tank, and Mcanning never really capitalized on that. And now Silky's getting the entire map, and he's just able to kind of mine away, even getting that far right side base. And I think that's something you just got to be careful of. Is now we're seeing, like, one-shotting Carriers with these Corruptors as they just yoink units in with the Vipers. You can't let that happen. But, that's just too expensive for Mcanning, and that's going to give Silky the efficiency to get right back into a game that he traded really badly in for so long.
I guess it kind of goes back to that attack on the right side that was headed towards Silky's new bases, the one with that 3 carriers, and didn't quite work out. I guess Mcanning, while he was maybe taking some good trades and he really was keeping Silky low on economy, or low on a bank, I should say, I guess he didn't really get that much faster into the army Corruptors were necessary for either. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have 8 Corruptors and was pinning Silky down. Or carriers. He had 3 carriers, and Silky was equally slowly building on Corruptors. So I do agree. I think he maybe could have capitalized more in some ways, but here we are, 20 minutes. DTs are finally getting on the action for harassment, but not in this base. Just kidding. That base is pretty good to go.
Yeah, there's been a bit of something here, there, and everywhere right now. These High Templar really need to keep zoning out those Vipers. He was so good at it against Scarlet earlier, but right now he has just had a few units picked off for free, and Silky's definitely had a better, last little while in this game. I don't think Silky lost anything for like 2 minutes, and Mcanning's lost multiple carriers at this point.
I really didn't believe in the Ultras because I thought this game was still on that razor-thin edge, but it's kind of calmed down. We did see Stefano use Corruptor Ultra quite well in the first game of the, or first day of the season, I should say. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The Archons.
Oh, my God. The Corruptors, what are you doing? Why are you still fighting? Why are you still here?
Oh, my God.
Get the hell away. Oh, my God.
That was a big mistake.
Okay, suddenly Mcanning can just push forward and fight because the Corruptors are so hurt right now. A couple of Storms do so much work on those. Silky may be distracted because there are DTs running here, there, and everywhere. Storm to disengage the Corruptors, and oh my God, those Corruptors are just so low, CG, and now they're not part of the fight, so the Hydras are going down as well, and Mcanning's found his moment to strike. Snipes off an Overseer as he moves on through, and he's going to get up this ramp into that natural where all the tech is, by the way, the Spire included. And if he gets rid of that, he stops the rebuild of more Corruptors and so on. These carriers will not be stopped.
Silky is currently supply blocked. He has 30 supply that we'd love to fill with at least a couple more Corruptors, but right now, Desperate is building about 19 Hydras. I'm actually surprised Mcanning pulls back. He's afraid of suddenly just a bunch of Corruptors. That's what he's afraid of. He's like, oh no, Corruptors are on the way. Of course they are, because Zerg. And it's like, oh no, Silky doesn't actually have the opportunity.
I feel like he doesn't realize how broke Silky is once again, right? That was absolutely his opportunity. Those Corruptors are so many of them are so low. He just didn't have the Corruptor count right there. It was a good fight from Mcanning, don't get me wrong, but it could have gone further.
Oh, geez.
Maybe still out of gas, by the way. This is crazy.
Well, he did just remake 20 Hydras and 6 Corruptors. So.
I know, but like, if another fight happens right now, which it realistically could, like, he ain't rebuilding anything. And he's got Zealots running towards this right side, which has no static defense on it. Like, like a Spore Crawler too. That doesn't stop these Zealots. So he loses Rich Vespine gas mining. He's going to lose some Hydras and Ravager over here. This is like really problematic if Mcanning can fight up this ramp. I mean, he can just send the carriers through. He's just afraid of where the Corruptors are. He has no idea where they are, which is the current problem.
Silky does have some lurker defense going on, but he really does need that top middle right, I should say, base, because Mcanning already has his middle left. So yeah, that's concerning. He also needs to take a better fight than the last one. Silky has gotten his Corruptor count back up to just 15. That's not even impressive.
The Corruptors are kind of on their own again as the Mothership may go down. Honestly, I still like it for Mcanning. Like, the carriers can kind of chase the Corruptors on the right. Like, the army almost needs to be... I can understand why it's not together, because you're afraid of being mass stormed, right? But right now, it feels like the carriers could go chase the Corruptors while the Hydras can't catch up. I feel like that's where a lot of Mcanning's really good trades at the moment are coming from. As this is a lone Void Ray that nearly wanders into the fight. Obviously, extra Void Rays being added in is a great addition. Really helps against the Corruptors.
Silky has taken some really bad trades, and it's starting to show. I mean, even the desperation, too. He would have loved to have made 10 Corruptors with the 20 Hydras in that one last fight. Instead, he is low on the Corruptor count and high on the Hydras, which really don't have that same ability to take down this type of army. They're going to get stormed. They're going to get microed against over the air. Like, this is...
Right too, by the way.
This is the final fight, and Silky's not going to win it, and he doesn't have the means to replace the army. Mcanning is going to remain undefeated in this group.
Man, his late game is actually scary, because it feels like Silky had some control of this game, and he just couldn't really find a way to follow up with it all. And yeah, these storms right now are deadly. The Corruptor count going down and down and down, and Silky GG.